Hey guys, it's Kiki from Eat More to Weigh Less, back in my car again. Basketball season is almost over for my son, so hopefully these car vids will become slightly less frequent than they are now. But I figured while I'm waiting to go in, because he has to be here like an hour early, I could give you my cut update. So the bulk is over. I've been cutting. This is, I think I'm going to my fourth week now. I might be wrong on that. I'll double check after the video and, add adjustments at the bottom if I'm wrong on that. But I think I'm 4 weeks in now. I am still feeling really good, as I talked about in last week's video. I relost the 2 pounds or whatever that I was talking about then. So, like I said, it's up and down with when you're weighing more frequently like I am now. I'm at the point now where I'm weighing pretty much daily. Only because I can take it. Not recommend it if you cannot take those fluctuations. Trying to see what affects my water weight and such like that. So, like for instance, the other day I got my lowest weigh-in. I happened to check, which, I mean, it was blink and you miss it, because if I didn't check on that day, I wouldn't have known that my weight dropped back down, because it had been up all throughout time of the month and everything else. So all last week I was back up to 2 pounds that I'd lost, or whatever, 1.5 pounds. Anyways, I was up to like 138, 139 on the scale last week. This week, I happened to catch a 136 day. So, like I said, I wouldn't have gotten that if I hadn't have been weighing daily. But the reason why I did that is because I was doing 30 minutes of spin that night, and I wanted to see how the spin affects my water weight if I hold a lot of water from spinning. So I checked that morning, 136, did spin that night, and then the next day checked my weight again, and I was 138 or something like that. So basically, yes, the spinning did cause me to retain water, which was what I wanted to know, because I wanted to be able to use it to help release water, or just when I have like a lot of extra glycogen stored up in my legs, or just DOMs. I like to ride sometimes to relieve it, but the specific workout that I was testing, I wanted to see if I was to do that one, would it still kind of cause water weight. So, and it did, and it was more of an interval type workout, so I kind of expected it. And yeah, anyways, so I'm glad that I got to see the lower weight, because it did let me know that my body was still letting go of that. I'm still on the right track. I did not do measurements. I did grab my waist measurement, which was down 1 inch. Yay! So I was pretty happy about that. I didn't measure much else, because like I said, it was just a quick thing, because it wasn't like official, but I did want to check that. And I will be getting some measurements shortly. If I get them before I put this video up, then I'll include that here, or just the link to the forum where I keep my journal updates. But so far, so good. Last week, I checked my macros. I like to follow my little pie chart on MyFitnessPal. And my macros for last week worked out to be 42, 29, 29. So I guess I'm riding pretty close to 40, 30, 30, which I didn't plan it that way, but it's just kind of happening. Falling slightly short of my protein goals. My goal is around 160 to 175 grams of protein per day. I averaged about 147 grams, so slightly off there. And then the fat is kind of where I want it. Like I said, I usually try to get right around 28%, so that was at 29. So, and then carbs just fall, wherever they fall. So I wasn't too upset about that, especially because I'm still seeing progress. That will be my goal this week is to try to make sure that I hit my protein goals. I will probably be incorporating protein powders, which you guys know that I can't stand. But I will be incorporating them if it seems like I can't hit my goals with just eating regular food. So as far as my supplements, I don't have them all with me like I did at the beginning of my bulk, but I'm not taking a whole lot. You know, I'm very, very minimal in my supplementation. I'll be taking a multivitamin. I will be taking a green tea extract supplement. So I think it's 500 milligrams per caplet. I'll check the stats on that when I get home and add that also to the video. But other than that, I'll have the protein powders, a multivitamin, my green tea, and creatine. I'm still going to cycle creatine throughout my cut. I was kind of undecided, but what I did was I took off the first 3 weeks. I kind of cut out creatine, and then I'm going to cycle it back in. So I cycle it on and off, kind of whether I'm bulking or cutting, just because I do like that it helps me, but I like to take a break from it every once in a while so that my body doesn't get too used to it. So I just cycle it. So I've been off of it for the last couple of weeks, and then I just started back last night, and I'm probably going to, like I said, you don't have to load creatine. I'm still taking the same one that I showed in my bulk video, the Creatine Monohydrate. Doing kind of a mini load, which is what I do when I'm cycling it, just so that I can kind of get it in my system a little bit faster. You don't have to, because pretty much after like 5 days or so it's in your system anyways. So I just do a mini load for maybe 2 or 3 days, taking the teaspoon or whatever the serving size is 2 or 3 times a day for maybe 3 days. It's just what I do. So like I said, it's not something you have to do, but that is how I do it. So I'll be adding creatine back in for at least the next probably 3 to 4 weeks, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Let me see. Supplements. I think that's it. Water. Always. You know, I always have my Fiji. Water is so important. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm getting enough water. I'll be shooting for anywhere from 3 to 6 liters per day. I already like to get a minimum of my half of my body weight in ounces, just as a regular requirement. So I'll probably increase that slightly. My upper body is leaning out already, so not like super lean like I said before. You know, I'm noticing that the waist and belly are getting a little bit smaller, but I'm still wearing shirts that have a little more give in the belly area just because it's not where I can wear like clingy stuff in the belly area yet. I will typically look for that at the beginning of my cut, because that shows me that I'm on the right track. So that's the good thing about my upper body leaning out first, is that, you know, because I know that's kind of the order that it goes in, I know that I'm on the right track. The only bad thing about your upper body leaning out first, or not the only, one of the bad things about your upper body leaning out first, is that it makes your lower body look huge. So you actually feel like, instead of realizing that your upper body is leaning, you think that your lower body is growing, because that is just the way that it looks, you know, in proportion to the upper, especially with a body type like the way that I have. So because my upper body is always, it's harder to build, like I have the like big hip thing that runs in my family, so that is always the last area to lean out. So while my upper body is, you know, getting smaller, it makes my like hips and thighs look like they're getting huge. And so at first glance you think, oh my gosh, what's going wrong? But you know, now after a couple times of going through this, I understand that that is kind of, you know, the way that it goes. So I know now not to freak out, but it does always kind of look awkward. The other thing about what my upper body leans out is that when you first start to lean out, a lot of times you will look less muscular at first, because when you're bulking, and you like constantly have this pump in the muscles, you could see the muscle, even though it's not even necessarily the muscle. A lot of times it's just extra water, but it's creasing in all the right places, because all the water is inside of the muscle, so your muscle seems so much bigger. But when you start to lean out, like as soon as you reduce those calories and you start kind of losing some of the water that was inside the muscles, your muscles kind of go flat at first, and because of that, you seem like your arms almost got fatter because they just start looking very soft. So you kind of go through this fat phase before you go through the lean phase. And so I'm kind of dealing with that right now. That's what the past couple weeks have been. My upper body was leaning out, but it was the fat phase. So it's kind of like a bummer, because you're like used to like flexing in the mirror and you see all these, like muscles popping everywhere, and then you start to deflate a little bit. The glycogen starts coming out of the muscles and everything's just kind of there, but not really, nothing's popping. And then, and that kind of is like off and on, as you lean out, because it always kind of takes time for like the skin to catch up to the rate that, the muscles and the fat are leaning out. So sometimes you're getting lean, but you can't tell, because it may take a few weeks for your skin to catch up. So right now, I had, maybe yesterday or the day before, you have those moments where you're brushing your hair or doing something and you just kind of see a muscle that you haven't seen in a while. And you're excited because you're like, oh, wow. And that's one of the most exciting things to me about the bulk cut cycles, is because every time, when you bulk, you go through the whole mental thing of, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? Am I really gaining muscle? Am I just getting fat? The whole like, oh my gosh, you're so mental throughout the whole bulk process. It's just up and down. You feel great in the weight room, but then once it's over, you're like, did I just imagine that I had muscle there? And then when you go to cut, at the beginning, you're kind of going through that too. It's kind of like, what am I really going to see? What if there's no changes? What if I just wasted all that time? And then because you go through those first few weeks where it's kind of up in the air and you can't really see anything and you're wondering, like, am I getting fatter? What's going wrong with this cut? And then you catch that, something in the mirror, and it's that confirmation. And for me, every time it's something different. There's something that wasn't there before, and that is the best feeling. And that's when like, wait a minute, this worked. That was not there before. So that is really exciting to me every time. Maybe not everybody gets that excited about it as I do, but I do. I get really excited because I know that everything that I went through, all the doubt and wondering, like, why am I doing this? And people are looking at me crazy. And is everybody wondering why I'm gaining and thinking, oh, Kiki fell off or whatever? I just wonder if that is coming into play and if I'm really doing anything other than just eating and lifting, And when that happens, you can't help but to feel good about yourself and what you've done. And sometimes, it takes longer to happen for some than others, because, for me, it happens a little bit quicker, only because I've gone through so many bulk cycles that I have more muscle. So I can see the changes sooner in the process. When I didn't have that much muscle, it would take a while before I could see it. So I was kind of in panic mode, the whole time I was cutting. Like, that was just stupid. Why did I do it? I also wasn't putting in enough time into my bulk, so that's a whole nother ramble. But when I would, finally get down to size, and I noticed, oh, hey, that wasn't there before. So, yeah. You guys know what I'm saying. Or when you go through it, when you get there, if you've gone through this bulk with me, and if you're cutting now, you will get there and you will see, and you will have that moment where, something catches your eye in that mirror, and you're like, all right, I can do this, and you'll feel confident that you can and will bulk again. Because when you're at the end of your bulk, sometimes you're up in the air about it. You're thinking, I'm not doing this crap again. You know, I put myself through all this. I got fat for nothing. I feel bad about myself. I'm not doing it. Yeah, just wait till you cut and see. Then you tell me that you're not doing it again. So, anyways, that is something that I'm really excited about. Now that those first couple weeks are over, you know, I'm starting to see a little bit more. Obviously, like I say, not super ripped yet. But it's getting there. Some things are still tight. Some things are getting looser. You know, it's great. So my plans, before I run out of time, because I do have to get in there to this game before it starts, I'm going to be, I like where my calories are right now. I'm probably not going to touch them, which, you know, it's kind of big for me. It's always up in the air. Do I add cardio or do I cut back calories? Right now, like I said, the calories are actually going good for me, and knowing that I'm not even hitting my macros that I want to hit and I'm liking what I see, I'm going to stay there. I'm just going to focus on hitting my protein. As far as my workouts, I'm still putting the finishing touches on what my plan is for the month of March. I will share it either by video or putting it in my journal once I finish it. But I do know that I'm going to incorporate some kettlebells, some, you know, maybe like a day or two of some CrossFit, either the CrossFit or kettlebells, just to shake things up. And I will be adding in cardio. Not much. Obviously, you know how I am. I just kind of inch it up. I've been doing pretty much around 20 minutes per day. Not per day. 20 minutes per cardio workout twice a week. So 2 20-minute sessions per week is what I've been doing. And I am going to add probably about 10 minutes to those. So I'm going to move it up to 30 minutes. And then I'm going to add either a leg workout or cardio workout, because for me, they're interchangeable. A leg workout is a cardio workout to me. So if I have a leg day, then I usually only have one cardio day, or vice versa. So I am going to probably add a leg day, add 10 minutes of cardio to my actual cardio days. And then for upper body, I will be focusing on shoulders, because it's the area that I'm really trying to bring up. I tried my best to focus on it during bulk. I don't really know yet what, you know, came of it until maybe, you know, I cut a little bit more. It may take another bulk before I get to where I want to for shoulders. But during my cut, I am still going to focus on that area a little bit more. So maybe 2 to 3 times per week I will be incorporating shoulders. So probably like a back and shoulder day, leg and shoulder day, and maybe like a chest try shoulder type day or something like that. But I will be incorporating shoulders more times than the other body parts, because it's a specific part that I want to bring up. And if anything gets, you know, on the chopping block as far as my workouts, it will be chest day. Probably, I'm thinking I may cycle in one chest workout every 10 days or so, only because I hit it hard during bulk. You know, I'm pretty content with where my lifts are on chest workouts. So I will, if I need to cut back somewhere to be able to fit things in, then I'll cut back a chest day. So I'm almost doing one every other week, so that I can really focus on the back and shoulder areas that I want to bring out. Other than that, I will be taking maintenance breaks. Probably once every 4 to 6 weeks, I will take a complete break from eating at a deficit and eat at maintenance, just because I don't want to plateau. And for my recovery weeks, I will probably, right now I naturally take one every 3 weeks just because of the health issues that I have. And so I don't necessarily plan it that way, but that's the way it happens. So I'll probably still be in kind of a 3 week on, 1 week off type workout schedule, just to be able to, you know, keep up with doing what I can when I can, and then resting when I absolutely have to. So that will be my plan for now. I will let you guys know if that change or if I make any other tweaks, but right now that is where I'm looking. I am very, very excited. I hope to have pictures for you guys soon. If I take some before I upload this video, then I will add them to this. If not, then I'll get them in next week. But thanks for watching. Bye.